That 13-foot alligator might not be the gator who attacked those two dogs. I'm Rebecca Fernandez, live in Venice, and I'll have that story in just a few moments.
Plus, algae blooms affecting thousands of people across the state. What health officials are doing about it today.
Could that be connected to the increase of red tide? How local activists are fighting back. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. We have new information tonight about that massive alligator that was captured in Venice's Shamrock Park this week. It may not have been the one that attacked two dogs that were running loose a few weeks ago.
Now, one family in Venice is hoping to change the policies that are put in place for trapping gators. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live this evening in Venice with more on this story.
Good evening, guys. Well, FWC tells us today that after tests were performed on that alligator, there is no evidence that it attacked a dog. And while we may not know for sure, we not only lost two dogs, but we also lost the life of an alligator who has been living in this area for over 30 years.
Max has been in my family since my father first bought a house down here on Shamrock Drive. He bought the house in 1986.
Max was that 13-foot alligator captured in Shamrock Park last week and later killed. The hunt to capture him began after two German shepherds who were not on leashes were attacked by a gator in the same swampy area of the park. One dog was never found and the other one had to be put down because of its injuries.
Just doing like what gators do and what he's done his whole life, and he was killed over nothing. Like, killing him didn't solve anything. If anything, it made a problem with off-balancing the ecosystem, because he's obviously the king of the swamp. He's the biggest predator, but he was never aggressive.
Alex tells us that he grew up with this massive animal in his backyard and would appreciate him from afar, always keeping their distance and respecting the wildlife. But while there is no evidence that this gator was part of the attack, experts say it still is possible.
Normally, we'll eat their fill, and they'll put it away somewhere where they know it's at, and they will keep visiting.
Since it had been over a week, the animals could be in another location.
I was hoping that one day, like, my grandkids could appreciate him the way I've appreciated him for all these years, because alligators live to be who knows how long.
However, Florida law states that if a captured alligator is more than 4 feet long, it must be killed and not relocated because of potential conflicts in other areas. Reporting live tonight in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much.
Weekend is here.
It is.
We need some good weather. Let's check now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan to find out what's happening out there tonight. Bob?
Well, as expected, late morning, early afternoon showers scattered about, a little bit more widespread in Northport and down near Port Charlotte. It's hot out there, 90 degrees right now, heat index at 101. It's actually gone up a degree just in the last 10-15 minutes, and that's a result of the rain coming through, kind of cooling down temporarily, and the sun shining brightly and actually evaporating the moisture that has fallen and causing high dew point temperatures and humidity around. That makes it feel much hotter out there. The humidity at 63%, but that west wind also brings that low humidity in. Lakewood Ranch, it was really nice up until about 11:30, and then here comes the rain, the showers, and even a few thunderstorms moved on through, and now we're starting to see not much going on. In fact, that rain was heavy at times. I mentioned a lot of it pushing off to the east and southeast. You can see it was developing along the sea breeze front, and that has worked all the way along to the east coast now, and there are some outflow boundaries there. Not much near the coast at all. Things are pretty quiet. That's not to say we won't see a rogue shower pop up in here and there as a result of the outflow boundaries, like this one we had just for about a half hour ago, and it didn't last long at all. You can see that heavy rain at one point near Northport. Here's an outflow boundary heading toward Wauchula now. Other showers anticipated into central Florida throughout this evening. Well, much more in the weekend weather, which looks to be similar to what we saw today. Coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Right now, flooding is forcing massive amounts of water contaminated by toxic algae bloom to be pumped out of Lake Okeechobee. The algae is caused by excess rain, pollutants, and heat. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is flushing the water to protect the dike from breaking. But people in coastal areas are worried about the potential health hazards. Critics say it's not only hurting the ecosystem, but the economy as well.
Algae blooms have already led to a state of emergency in Florida, and according to the CDC, they can pop up in any waterway when the conditions are right. Melissa Rainey explains the dangers and how to spot it.
Headed to the water to cool off this summer? Look out for a growing health concern. The warmer weather can lead to a potentially toxic overgrowth of algae and other bacteria. According to the CDC, these harmful algal blooms are increasing in number and severity because of factors like global warming, stormwater runoff, and wastewater overflows.
It's running off nutrients, so the nutrients are coming with the fresh water. And so that combination plus warm temperatures is going to create the conditions to cause these kinds of conditions.
The algae can cause rashes, respiratory problems, and if ingested, can cause liver and kidney damage. Even if you stay out of the water, it is possible to breathe in the poison. Pets are especially at risk. To stay safe, avoid bodies of water if they smell bad, look discolored, or contain dead animals. You can also check for beach warnings posted online or near the water. For today's Health Minute, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Well, we've seen it year after year, but for some reason, the red tide that's been affecting the Suncoast waters is worse now than ever before. One Florida group is planning a rally this weekend to try and help our waters before things get any worse. Save Our Fisheries has thousands of followers on their Facebook page who plan to be in attendance this Saturday. They will be meeting in Punta Gorda's La Ashley Park and then driving to Clewiston's public boat ramp. The rally is taking place to not only spread awareness of what exactly is taking over our waters, but to also push for changes in Florida's water management policies. Organizers say that this red tide bloom is not only killing thousands of fish, but affecting our air quality and can make property values drop along the coast.
The community group known as Fresh Start gathered more than 40 proposals from local residents on what they'd like to see built next to Sarasota County's celery fields. This week they narrowed that list down and turned in the final 4 to the county. The 22 acres of county-owned land is located right off of Palmer Boulevard and Apex Road, just east of I-75 and next to the celery fields. When the county was considering allowing a metal and concrete recycling facility there, hundreds of community members protested and won. Fresh Start has spent months narrowing down 4 alternatives, and they are a community center with trails, gardens, a pavilion, or the favorite, a YMCA.
Proves that a grassroots group can strengthen. You don't have to, there's only 4 of us now on this executive committee, but you don't have to be a large number going to a meeting and pounding on the desk. And we have, I think, made big strides.
YMCA is on board, even offering to fund a $1 million facility. County officials say they've received the proposals and are now looking them over.
A housing development planned for an area that historically floods clears another hurdle. The Manatee County Planning Commission voting 4-1 yesterday to recommend the County Commission approve the Grove at Grand Oak Preserve development. It's a proposed 83-home subdivision that Slaughter Drain, a small creek that empties into the Manatee River, would run through. 31 acres would be rezoned and a special approval is needed because the site is in a 25-year floodplain.
Demolition of the Colony Beach and Tennis Resort is delayed as the town of Longboat Key finalizes its contract with the site's developer. The rundown resort now scheduled to be torn down July 23rd. The town ordered that demolition on July 1st after it deemed all but one of the buildings unsafe. Unicorp, an Orlando-based development firm that plans to build a St. Regis Hotel and residence at the site, has offered to demolish the Colony for free. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, why a jury says there's a reason to believe talcum powder is dangerous for women.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will have your first alert forecast for the weekend. Plus, why the disabled community is saying the ban on plastic straws is a setback.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically. And I don't know what we would have done without that.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, this should come as no surprise. FEMA has called 2017 a very bad year for hurricanes. FEMA issuing its after-action report this week. The agency calling the 2017 season unprecedented and one that stretched the response capabilities of the government. Among the major hurricanes that caused havoc, Harvey, Irma, and Maria. Nearly 5 million households signed up for disaster relief during the second half of 2017. Yeah, no, we won't forget it.
No, not at all.
We'll be talking about it for a while.
Yeah, and this season, people are maybe hearing about how we're not expecting a lot of storms this season, and not a lot of devastating storms like we saw with Maria and Irma. And there's a lot of truth to that. Last year we had 6 major hurricanes. This year, only 1 expected. But the one, if it were to hit here, it would be pretty devastating. Let's face it. We were hit with tropical storm force winds, maybe Category 1 force winds. A major hurricane is something not to be really ever want on anyone, for that matter. So the season is expected to be rather light as a result of a couple of factors, actually 3 now. We are projecting El Nino to come into play in August and September, which has a tendency to knock down storms. And we also have very cool temperatures in the Atlantic. On top of that now, we have a projection of July, the rest of July, the winds in the Caribbean to be strong out of the east. So the easterly trade winds are expected to be strong in July, and that's one of the key factors in projecting what the rest of the season is going to hold. If July's easterly trade winds are expected to be strong, then usually you're going to have a pretty light hurricane season for the rest of the way out. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, I worry about the fact that the Gulf water temperature is extremely warm. On top of that, off of the southeast coast of Florida, it's 90 degrees plus, and those water temperatures are extremely warm for this time. Obviously, that's about what they are, but they're a little bit warmer than the Atlantic. We had some storms around earlier. Those storms have since shifted east. We still have some outflow boundaries, once in a while generating a storm or two, but all in all, if you have a planned outdoor event this evening, looks to be okay near the coast temporarily, we're still going to see some shower activity try to make their way back toward the coast and develop here with some of those outflow boundaries from the storms in the interior portions of our viewing area. You can see 1 or 2 sprinkles still left over with a storm right there. It doesn't have much height to it. It was up to 30,000 feet. This one is weakening too over Pinellas County. So not much going on with that. We had some rainfall. It was heavy at times. I was in Northport, and it came down with a lot of lightning there. Notice not a lot at Siesta Key, Osprey, Venice was pretty quiet, although parts of Venice did get some rainfall. And Anna Maria Island, some rain nearby. Rainfall amounts and totals were pretty impressive in places. 1.4 inches in Northport, a little less there toward Bayshore Gardens at just 1/10 of an inch. Well, the forecast model does indicate 1 or 2 lone showers popping up later on this evening. You got a lot of heat, a lot of humidity still around. Not all the energy was used up by these earlier storms, so there's still a little bit of energy left to go, and we'll see how that plays out. But for the next couple of hours, things should stay relatively quiet here along the coast, and then we'll see redevelopment of some storms tomorrow. Again, and then those have a tendency to push in. Sunday, similar conditions are expected. Storms aren't going to move all that much. They will drift inland throughout the latter half of the day, with some of those moving back toward the coast. Well, in the tropics, all is fairly quiet right now. We still have some pretty deep convection developing near Bermuda. That is associated with a trough. On top of that, remnants of what was Beryl, but for the most part, things are quiet in the Atlantic. And as far as those winds go, hostile environment in the blue, indicating that hurricanes and tropical systems will have a hard go of it in the Caribbean. But notice it's still pretty light winds there in the upper levels of the atmosphere, right around Florida and in the Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures, currently it's hot everywhere. Jacksonville at 95, it's 90 in Sarasota. 90 in Orlando. There's not much to cool us down right now. Winds out of the north by tomorrow morning, and then turning to the west at 5 to 10 knots. We'll have a light chop out there. And the forecast for the next 7 days, 30% chance for scattered storms late morning, early afternoon near the coast, and then almost anywhere throughout the late afternoon. Rain chances increasing throughout next week, anywhere from 40 to 50%. Back to you.
Bob, thank you so much. And first alert traffic right now. Let's check around our area. Typical delays right now. Some slowdowns as you head north on I-75 near Lakewood Ranch, but not too bad. And then in North Sarasota, we're seeing some slowdowns leaving Siesta Key on the South Bridge there. And then in South Venice, watch out for a crash on US 41. It's in the eastbound lanes, and it's which are blocked right at Rockley Boulevard, which is the entrance to Plantation. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. And Health Smart tonight, a new study of adults across the U.S. reveals risky behaviors associated with distracted driving. A team of researchers at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia found that in the last 3 months, about half of parents talked on a cell phone while driving with their children in the car. 1 in 3 read text messages and 1 in 7 used social media. The study also found parents took part in other risky driving behaviors, like not wearing a seatbelt and driving under the influence of alcohol, whether or not children were present. A new study that says you shouldn't feel guilty for eating or drinking whole dairy. New research by the University of Texas says eating yogurt, cheese, butter, and even whole milk does not have any connection to cause of death, specifically heart disease and stroke, which are events usually associated with eating saturated fats. In fact, the study suggests people who consume whole dairy have less risks of dying from stroke. And Starbucks says it will stop using plastic straws at all of its stores for environmental reasons, but for some in the disabled community, that decision is not a helpful one. Starbucks wants to eliminate more than 1 billion straws per year, cutting down on waste, but speech therapists depend on straws to help teach people to take a drink when they need one.
Yes, it's a great mentality and we're headed there, but it's also a luxury. You know, individuals with disability, they may not always have the option of going green.
Starbucks says they will work with the disability community to ensure that they continue to meet their needs moving forward.
An update now on an ongoing battle between Johnson & Johnson and a group of women who claimed their talcum powder gave them cancer. A jury awarding the women nearly $5 billion in a settlement today. Those women say they developed ovarian cancer as a result of regular use of the company's talcum powder. Though scientific studies have yielded mixed results, there have been concerns about a possible link between talc and ovarian cancer. Johnson & Johnson plans to appeal the decision and says its products do not contain asbestos and do not cause ovarian cancer. A salmonella outbreak linked to Kellogg's Honey Smack cereal continues to grow. The CDC says there are now at least 100 confirmed cases of salmonella illness connected to the cereal, 2 of them here in Florida. 33 people have been hospitalized due to the outbreak, but there are no reports of any deaths. Meantime, the FDA is urging retailers to immediately pull all those boxes of the cereal from their shelves. A friendly competition for a good cause tomorrow. The 2018 Boots vs. Badges blood drive is taking place at the Westfield Sarasota Square Mall from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. This is a friendly campaign among our first responders to see who can help the Suncoast Blood Bank collect the most blood.
Coming up, a mailman with the munchies gets caught red-handed. And get ready to see the biggest avocado you've ever seen. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I heard about the Dottole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dottole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dottole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary. And I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
Don't miss the exciting original musical review, Tops from Flops, playing July 11th through the 22nd at the Players Center. All the best songs from all the wrong shows from composers like Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, and more. Call 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You'll want to sing right along with Tops from Flops.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A Central Florida police officer is on administrative leave for a takedown maneuver caught on camera. Take a look at the video. The man was already handcuffed when Officer Adam Johnson gets him in a headlock and then slams him down. Body cam video from Sanford Police shows the officer radio to other officers that he needs help with a man reportedly punching an air conditioning unit. A police report says the man getting arrested elbowed the officer, but witnesses say they did not see that.
That was out of order. That was out of order. You know, no matter, I can't say it enough.
There are certain levels of response to resistance that officers are allowed to do.
After videos of the brawl surfaced on social media, the Sanford police chief put Johnson on leave. They say this isn't the first time they've responded to a disturbance at that particular bar. In fact, in 2015, police say they were called there more than 700 times.
New video released today of a robbery at a jewelry store in Los Angeles. The bad guys almost got away with it until the store owner shot at them. You can see one man pepper sprayed the store owner and two customers. Both men used hammers to break glass displays and the front door. The store owner then pulled a gun and fired at one of the thieves. They ran off empty-handed. The robbery happened in May, but that investigation is still ongoing.
Some dramatic body cam footage shows a Texas police officer nearly being hit by a car last week. The video from July 3rd shows Irving police officer Sam Hall jumping over the highway guardrail to avoid being hit. The incident happened after Hall was completing a traffic stop. Despite what happened, Hall remained calm, cool, and collected.
My motorcycle just been ran over westbound 114.
So sorry.
No worries, man. You okay?
I'm okay. Oh my God.
I'm fine. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold tight.
It
also made me think about what if I made it back to the bike? What if I was sitting on the bike? You know, how would this have played out?
Irving police released the video to remind drivers to move over and slow their speed when approaching police traffic stops. In fact, here in Florida, it's the law. Take a look at this hungry mailman. He was caught red-handed eating a family's tomatoes in Canada. After noticing the tomatoes missing, the Montreal family assumed squirrels were to blame. But when they looked at their surveillance footage, the real culprit was revealed. The family now says they want an apology.
Well, from tomatoes to avocados, look at the size of this avocado. It's huge. There's a huge avocado variety that actually originated in South Africa that has been nicknamed the Avozilla. Now, the taste is said to be just as good as a regular avocado, but you get much more. For now, growers say you can expect to find these avocados in specialty shops in Australia, which will leave avocado fans stateside green with envy. I love my avocados, so I would love a huge avocado like that. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, parents are concerned about a summer camp after one kid ends up in the emergency room.
Plus, Governor Scott signing an order going against the law he recently signed over the public's access to Florida's beaches. We'll have a closer look at what that means for beachgoers and the homeowners who live there.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It fell off the roof of my car.
It fell out of my backpack.
Oh, it fell off my grocery cart.
I tossed it to a really clumsy friend.
I tripped while jogging.
My 2-year-old had a temper tantrum.
It bounced down 2 flights of stairs.
No matter how you broke your smartphone, there's only one smart way to fix it. Batteries plus bulbs.
I dropped it on the floor, and he stepped on it.
Schedule your repair at batteriesplus.com.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.